Hi everyone, welcome back to Caking at Midnight. Tonight we're going to switch gears a little bit and work on your 3-piece sphere molds for your hot cocoa bombs, so let's get started. As always, don't forget to follow me on Instagram. It's at caking_at_midnight. And if you liked the video this evening, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, hit that bell for notifications, and hit that subscribe button. Okay, so when you get your 3-piece mold, it comes with 5 different things. So you have a top and a bottom, and then you have 3 different cute little inserts. I have marked mine, one that says T and one that says B for bottom, because they look very similar, and when you have a whole bunch on your counter, it can get kind of confusing. So I've marked them with a Sharpie so I know which is which. So when you get them, open them up, you'll have the top and the 3 pieces, set those aside. On the bottom, if you ever get them confused, the bottom has a little imprinted ring. You probably can't see it on camera, but that is your fill line. So that's always going to be your bottom. So if you get them confused for some reason, always look for that fill line. The top does not have that. I always take a microfiber cloth before I get started and clean out the insides just to make sure there's no imperfections that I can't see on there. But once I've got everything cleaned up, I have my chocolate melted. I use my trusty little Wilton melting pot. I have like 4 of these. But don't overheat your chocolate. So on the Wilton pots, there is 2 settings, a medium and a high, or a low and a medium. If you use the hot setting, the highest setting on there, just be careful when you do it to watch that chocolate, because if it gets too hot, I'm using Merkin's melting wafers. So if it gets too hot, you're gonna have to add a little coconut oil or melting chips in there to get it to thin back out, because it's going to be too hot and it's going to be thick. So again, if you're using like cake pops or something with that, it's not going to work. So if you use that high setting, just watch it and then back it back down. Always bring your melting pot back out, and if it's really hot to touch, your chocolate's getting too hot. Now that my chocolate is ready to go, you can do this one of 2 ways. You can use a spoon, or you can put your chocolate in a piping bag. If you have a lot to do, it might be a little bit easier and cleaner that way. But just go ahead and take some chocolate, stick it in each section, and then take this and just tap it on your counter. Make sure it's level. You're going to lift it up and you're going to see those fill lines, and if you're not quite to those fill lines, put a little bit more in there. Alright, so we've got them full. You can set this aside, and then you want to take your 3 plastic inserts and set them on top. I know this is going to be really satisfying to want to push them in there, but don't do that. Take your top, go ahead and set your top on there. You can slightly push them down, but I'll show you in a second why not to play with them that way. So once you've got everything assembled, flip them upside down. You're going to see where your chocolate is on each one of these spheres, and you're going to, in the center with the palm of your hand, push down. Now, if it did exactly what you want it to do, it's going to be like this one, and it's going to be all the way to the bottom. If you have one like this, you can slowly push this down with your thumb and work this around. Now I'm going to do one really quick like here. This is what not to do. So if you have this one here and it doesn't push down, and you're trying really hard and you're getting frustrated, if you take your thumb and push this in, sometimes it will work around. But if you push too hard, this one has too much chocolate in it. If you push too hard, like this one, you're gonna see, I don't know if can you see that on camera? It's really thin. There's like that one. So if you don't have enough chocolate in these and you push down and you get this thin spot, then this one's not gonna work anymore. And you can sometimes move these around, but it's gonna be a pain in the butt. And you're not gonna, that shell, you're just gonna have to scrap it. So be careful when you push them down. So that's why I said when you put them in and you put those little inserts in there and you push on those, don't do it when they're sitting on the top. I know it's satisfying, but don't do it. Do it this way, hit with your palm of your hand and smush down. Set this one aside, we'll do one more for you. Again, if your chocolate is too thick, it's not gonna go through that mold very well. And if you do get them overfilled and they come out, it's okay. They'll just, once you chill them, they'll break off right away. So it's not, if you do go over that line a little bit, don't freak out. It'll be okay. So go ahead and stick those inserts back in. Stick your top on, flip it over, push down. As you can see, everything has gone around. I've got one that's overfilled, but that's okay. When it's chilled, it'll pop off. So once you've got that in your molds, you're ready to go. I have a counter full, but I usually do about 3 at a time, and then I stick them in the fridge. These have to be in the fridge for a minimum of 10 minutes, or you will not be able to pull them out. So I'm gonna stick these in the fridge, and in 10 minutes we will get them out, and I'll show you how they come out. Okay, so I just pulled the molds out of the refrigerator. You can do this without the refrigerator, but it helps. It goes a lot faster if you do use it. So once you get them out, take your top mold or your top cover off. If these have not been in the refrigerator long enough, you're gonna see that these aren't gonna pull out easy, and then you're just sticking back in the refrigerator. So this is the one that made thin. So this one, see how they just pull right out. Now this is the one I showed you where it wasn't full, and you can see you've got holes in your mold. It's not all the way to the edge. This one's just gonna have to go back in the melting pot. It's not a good mold. So if you don't fill them all the way, you're gonna see where I pushed my finger on there, and it's just start over. So there's that one. The other two though, sorry. The other two will pull right out. You just pull your mold, the plastic off, and you have a perfectly ready to go mold. So then you have a perfectly ready to go bombshell. So this one was overfilled a little bit. Like I said, it's okay. See how it just breaks off? And you still have your flat edge. If you have a funny edge, that's okay. Just go ahead, when you go ahead and melt your edges to seal them, that's gonna go away. If you haven't watched that video on how to seal your bombs, check out this video, and I'll show you how to get perfectly sealed cocoa bombs with perfect edges on them when you melt them using either a hot plate or a plate on the stove. But that's it, that's your bomb. Now, once you've got all of them out of here, you can shake off the excess, and you can go ahead and do more if you have to do a lot of shells at one time. I'll put the link down below on where to get these molds, but they're really, really easy to use. I also have used the silicone molds, so if you have those, check out that video as well. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section down below. As always, this is Allison, and happy caking.